History, we are often told, is a river flowing forward. A steady, linear progression of knowledge, where each generation builds upon the last, climbing a ladder of progress one rung at a time. We picture the past through a soft focus lens, a simpler time of marble temples, epic poems, and foundational philosophy. We do not picture precision engineering, complex gear trains, or computational machines. We believe in an unbroken chain of technological evolution, from the wheel to the watermill, from the printing press to the silicon chip. But what if that is a comforting lie? What if history is not a straight line, but a shattered mirror, reflecting fragmented images of a past far more advanced than we dare to believe? What if, buried in the deep, silent archives of our world, or submerged beneath the waves, there are anomalies, ghosts of a genius so profound, so jarringly out of place, that they feel like whispers from a forgotten future? This is the story of one such ghost. A ghost in a machine resurrected from the crushing, eternal darkness of the Aegean Sea. Imagine the scene. The year is 1900. A small wooden boat, helmed by Captain Dimitrios Kontos, is caught in the clutches of a furious Aegean storm. Waves like mountains crash over the deck, the wind howls a deafening song of chaos. Seeking refuge, they drop anchor near the desolate, rocky island of Antikythera. When the storm finally breaks and the sea stills its rage, the sponge divers decide to explore the unknown waters below. One of them, Ilias Stadiatus, descends into the deep blue twilight. Moments later, he surfaces, his eyes wide with a primal terror that transcends the chilling cold of the water. He babbles hysterically about a horrifying sight on the seabed, a nightmarish heap of dead, naked people, their pale forms scattered amongst rotting debris. The captain, a man of the sea, initially dismisses it as nitrogen narcosis, the rapture of the deep that can play tricks on a diver's mind. He decides to see for himself. As he descends, the world transforms into a realm of crushing pressure and ghostly light filtering from above. And then he sees it. Not a graveyard of bodies, but something far more extraordinary, the colossal wreck of an ancient Roman cargo ship, its treasures strewn across the ocean floor like the fallen gods of a forgotten pantheon. This was the world's first major underwater archaeological expedition. What they brought to the surface was the stuff of legends. Life-sized bronze and marble statues of gods and heroes, elegant glassware that held the light of 2 millennia within them, intricate pottery, and golden jewelry. But amongst these dazzling, obvious treasures was an ugly, unassuming lump. A mass of corroded bronze and splintered wood, fused together by 2,000 years of oceanic chemistry into something that looked more like a rock than a marvel. It was heavy, inert, and seemingly worthless. For 2 full years, it sat in a dark storage room at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, forgotten, while experts devoted their attention to reassembling the glorious statues that would draw crowds and acclaim. The real treasure, the object that would rewrite history, was dismissed as junk. Then, on a quiet day in May of 1902, the artifact cracked open, perhaps from the change in humidity. The museum's director, Valerius Staes, happened to be examining the fragments. In the dim light of the museum, something caught his eye. Peeking from within the calcified layers was a sight so impossible it defied all logic: the perfect, triangular teeth of a precision machined gear wheel. Staes, his heart likely pounding in his chest, proposed a radical theory: this was some form of astronomical calculating machine. The academic world scoffed. They laughed. The idea was deemed utterly preposterous. Scholars declared the object prochronistic, an artifact so advanced it was out of its proper time. The kind of differential gearing needed for such a device, they insisted, was an invention of the 14th century. To suggest it existed in the 2nd century BC was academic heresy. For decades, the Antikythera Mechanism remained a profound, frustrating enigma. It was a lock without a key, a message in a language no one could read. Early X-rays in the 1970s hinted at the labyrinth of gears within, but the images were blurry, like ghosts in a fog. It wasn't until the dawn of the 21st century that technology finally became advanced enough to talk to the ghost. An international team of scientists brought in state-of-the-art tools, high-resolution X-ray tomography to digitally slice through the artifact layer by layer, and polynomial texture mapping to read the faint, almost invisible inscriptions on its surfaces. On their computer screens, a ghostly machine began to reassemble itself, and the world watched in awe. What emerged from the digital fog was a mind-bogglingly sophisticated, hand-powered analog computer of the cosmos. Housed in a wooden case no bigger than a modern laptop, its bronze heart consisted of at least 37 interlocking gears, all working in concert. By turning a small hand crank on its side, an ancient user could command a clockwork universe. The front face was the public interface of this cosmos. A large dial displayed the 365-day Egyptian calendar, which could be adjusted for leap years alongside the 12 constellations of the Greek zodiac. Elegant pointers representing the sun and the moon marched across this celestial map, showing their exact positions in the sky on any given day. And then there was the moon. Not just a pointer, but a small, mesmerizing sphere, half-painted silver, half black, that gracefully rotated on its own axis, perfectly mirroring the waxing and waning of the real moon in the night sky. To achieve this, the creator employed a stroke of sheer, unadulterated genius, a pin-and-slot epicyclic gear system to model the moon's variable speed, a breathtakingly clever solution that would not be seen again in the history of technology for 1,500 years. The back of the device was its secret engine room, revealing the true depth of its creator's knowledge. Two large, beautiful spiral dials dominated the rear panel, looking like bronze galaxies. The upper dial was the Metonic cycle, a 19-year, 235 lunar month calendar that was essential for harmonizing civic and religious life. The lower dial was even more ambitious, the Saros cycle, a 2-3-month spiral used to accurately predict both solar and lunar eclipses. Tiny inscriptions, now readable, even described the expected color and characteristics of the eclipse, information vital for astrological divination. This machine didn't just track time, it peered into the future. And in a touch of pure cultural genius, a smaller dial tracked the 4-year cycle of the great Pan-Hellenic Games, a cultural heartbeat for the entire Greek world, reminding its owner when it was time for the Olympics. Who on earth could have built this? Was it the workshop of the legendary Archimedes, the Da Vinci of the ancient world, whom Cicero wrote had built 2 such bronze orreries? Or was it craft on Rhodes, the home of Hipparchus, the greatest astronomer of antiquity, whose lunar theories perfectly matched the mechanism's gearing? We may never know for sure. The creator left no signature. And this leads to the most chilling question of all: why was it alone? Why did this incredible tradition of mechanical engineering completely vanish? Imagine a single, brilliant candle lit in a vast, dark library. It illuminates wonders, reveals secrets written in the language of the cosmos. Now imagine a storm, the fall of empires, the burning of libraries, the endless recycling of valuable bronze for swords and armor. The candle is extinguished. The library is plunged back into darkness. And for 1,500 years, the world forgot it had ever been lit. The Antikythera Mechanism is that single, flickering candle, miraculously preserved by the sea, that claimed it. It is not just an ancient artifact, it is a humbling monument to the fragility of knowledge. It is a silent testament that history is not a steady climb, but a chaotic dance of genius and oblivion. It is a question cast in bronze, challenging everything we thought we knew about our past, and whispering of the other wonders that may still lie sleeping in the dark.